Okay, so 45 minutes is up, and we're going to take the dough out. You can see it's risen a little bit, but not that much. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to do something called stretching and folding. So we take the dough, it's very warm, and I'm just going to kind of stretch it, put it on the counter, stretch it out like a letter and fold it in thirds this way and then this way. And what we're doing here is we're stretching the gluten. You can see how stretchy that is and how it springs back, and that means that the gluten is developing, which is the protein that is going to ultimately trap all that carbon dioxide that the yeast are going to produce, and that's what's going to make the dough rise. So the dough feels, pretty good. That's what it's supposed to feel like. Round it back into shape. And this is going to rise for a total of about 90 minutes before we're going to shape it and put it in bread pans for its final rise. I should mention that the ingredients, the specific amounts, this dough ball right here, this is 11 ounces of bread flour, and it is 26 ounces of whole wheat flour, 5 teaspoons of kosher salt, not table salt. Kosher salt is less dense than table salt, so you really got to be careful with the type of salt you're using. If the recipe calls for kosher salt and you were to use table salt, you'd be using almost twice as much salt as you actually needed. It would be very, very salty. And if it calls for table salt, you need to use about 1.75 times as much kosher salt. Make sure you have the right amount. So we got 5 teaspoons of kosher salt, 5 teaspoons of instant yeast, and let's see, 10 ounces of olive oil, and about roughly 16 ounces of warm water, and then 4 ounces of brown sugar. And that's everything that's in there. And that's one recipe, and it's going to make 2 loaves of bread. So we're going to throw this in here, punch it down, put it back in the bucket, throw it back in the microwave for 45 more minutes. We're not cooking it for 45 minutes. We're letting it rise for 45 minutes. All right?